the lecture as soon as possible. So before starting, I would like to tell you, kindly control your cell phones as well. Do not pose any kind of trouble to me. So I have started sharing this. All right. So my today's lecture is going to be on the most important topic of our syllabus. This is on speed, time, and distance. That chapter has specifically been given after the chapter of number series. You would have experienced if you are always regular with the explanation videos and the test series we post on our website on daily basis, that we put the question from speed, time, and distance on alternative days on daily as well. Okay. So now in this chapter, I shall cover all the basic concepts regarding speed, time, and distance, because I genuinely believe if your concepts are clear, you do not need to go through from any kind of shortcuts, because you can create your own shortcuts if you are very sound in the basic concepts of all the chapters of mathematics, reasoning, and data interpretation, because these are the most important and very high scoring subjects. Even if you are not of the background of mathematics or a reasoning, or you have never studied after your matriculation or higher secondary examination, still I must tell you that these chapters are very easy to understand. There are only few basics you have to cover, few basics you have to go through. Okay, just follow the instructions in this video I am going to tell you, then you shall be able to solve these questions. I don't know whether this shall be covered in, it can completely be covered in this lecture or not, but I would try my best. If this is not covered, then we shall take again the lecture for part second of the basics for speed, time, and distance. So now I move further, and this is going to be the presentation of the actual way how I teach to my college students. Okay. So nothing has been written in this slide. I'm just going to write some of the basic mathematics concepts up to the standard of your matriculation or your higher secondary education. You would have experienced a number of mathematical theorems or number of concepts. And one thing is common in each and everything. You have to make the left hand side of the equation equal to right hand side of the equation. You have to make it equal. And lastly, you use to right hands proved. So these are the things. Okay, in mathematics only this thing works, and on the basis of this the different kind of statements are made. So now what do it has the relationship with our current chapter? This is speed, time, and distance, I tell you. Okay. Now suppose there is an object, there is an moving object. That can be any. Moving means which can move. Okay. It can be a car, it can be a train, it can be a cycle, it can be anything. This is a moving object. Okay. When someone asks you what is the speed of this car, what do you usually answer? You simply answer that the speed of car is 30 kilometers per hour. Usually we answer that. Okay. This is always our answer when somebody asks us about the speed of any moving object. And in this example, I have taken this moving object as a car. So now understand this equation or this line. Three items have been given. Okay, the first is speed, and the second is distance, and the third one is time. Okay, so now speed is the function of two things. This is distance and time. because speed is always denoted on the basis of distance and hours, and the thing per written here performs the role of a divisor. Okay, let me tell you what let me explain you in detail this concept. We can write this as speed is equal to distance. This is distance divided by time. Okay, what we tell, if someone asks us about the speed of any moving object, we tell them that the speed of the car is 30 kilometers per hour. So that per stands for divisor. So this line stands for the rule of a divisor. So when we divide the distance by time, then we get the speed of any moving object. The speed of any moving object. Okay, so this is the relationship. So this is the left hand side should be equal to right hand side. Okay, so as per the basic concepts of the chapter of speed, time and distance, we have to make the equation right by equaling the left hand side with right hand side. That means speed should be equal to distance divided by time. So this is the basic thing, and on the basis of this you can further make your own formulas. And in this video I shall cover each and every basic form and figure necessary to answer the question which shall be asked to you in the final examination. Okay, so now this is the next slide, and this slide is again blank because I wish to tell you by writing myself. So we have already gone through from the concept of speed. Speed is the function of two items. This is distance and it is divided by time, because we always tell that the speed of any moving object is 1 kilometer per hour or 10 kilometer per hour. So that per stands for the rule of a divisor. So now we have calculated the first formula. This is speed is equal to distance divided by time. Now you can easily decipher the second formula. This is how to calculate time. How to calculate time. If you are mathematically, even you have gone through up to the matriculation examination, and if you are not very sound still, I hope and I wish that being a student of NET and JRF examination by now, you must know that how to take figures from left hand side to right hand side, and how to take figures from right hand side to left hand side. I mean to say, you have to take this time to this side and you have to take the speed to this side. Okay, in this way you can easily decipher the formula for finding time. How it shall be calculated? This is distance divided by speed. Okay, so in this way you can calculate the formula of finding time for any moving object. The moving object shall take, how much time a moving object shall take to reach at a certain distance at a given speed. Okay, so this can be the formula for finding time. In this way you have to calculate. And I genuinely believe that it's not necessary to tell you that if something is at the denominator on any side, then it will become the numerator of the other side, because I believe that you are mathematically at least this much good. So now this is the last formula. Then we go further to some other basics of this chapter or this concept. This is how to calculate the distance. When we have to calculate the distance, this is very simple. We have to take the speed to the left hand side and we have to multiply it with time. So when you multiply time with speed or speed with time, then you shall be able to calculate the distance covered by any moving object. So these are the three basic formulas, and after that there are some other concepts which are very necessary, because these are very simple formulas. These are very simple formulas. The questions shall not be that much simple. These are just to give you the basic information that how you should start this chapter. All the data for covering, for practicing this chapter is already given in the book. I have already recommended in the first video lecture of paper 1, that was the book of R.S. Agarwal. Otherwise, for our regular batch students, they do not need to purchase any book. Each and every data shall be provided to you. So these are the three basic formulas. Now we move further. This is the concept of converting kilometers per hour to meters per second. Now, again, think about this. There can be any moving object. It can be a car, it can be a train, it can be a cycle, or anything. And when someone asks you about the speed of the car, what do you answer usually? You answer that the speed of the car is a kilometer per hour. Usually your answer is this, okay? Or this can also be the answer. The speed of the car or the speed of the cycle is this many, or 10 meters per second. Okay. So these are the two denominations in which the speed is talked about. So these are the two denominations. These are the most important denomination. Otherwise, there is none kind of other denomination left, because the questions shall be asked from these two denominations only. Okay. But sometime in the questions, you are asked to convert the speed of a moving object, which is in kilometers per hour, to meters per second. You have to convert the speed to kilometers per hour into meters per second. I mean to say that you have been given a speed of a car. This is 72 kilometers per hour. And the question is asking you to convert this speed into meters per second. Okay, then what you have to do, the finding process is very simple. You have to calculate this kilometers per hour by multiplying it with 5 and dividing it by 18. Okay, this is the basic concept. When you shall multiply the speed given in kilometers per hour with 5 and you shall divide it by 18, then you shall get this resultant speed in meters per second. So in this example, if I multiply 72 with 5 and divide it by 18, then I get 20 meters per second. Okay, so this is how the speed of a kilometer per hour is converted into meters per second. Now some students are every time confused why only this figure has been taken into consideration for finding for converting the kilometers per hour into meters per second. Why only this figure has been taken into consideration? Now I tell you the answer. Okay, the answer is, I am writing here, suppose the speed of any moving object is 1 kilometer per hour. Okay, this is 1 kilometer per hour. Then you can also write it as, in 1 kilometers there are 1000 meters, and in an hour there are 3600 seconds. So these are meters, these are seconds. Okay, and when you cut these figures and you calculate it again by dividing with the table of 2, then you are left with only two figures. These are 5 divided by 18. So I mean to say 1 kilometers per hour is always equal to 5 divided by 18 meters per second. So this is the reason why this figure is always taken into consideration for converting kilometers per hour into meters per second. Okay, so this is the basic formula for conversion of kilometers per hour into meters per second. I must tell you that this is very important. Number of times the question regarding this is asked. Okay, and this is not important for the point of view of only NET and JRF examination. Even if you are appearing for any examination, like this is bank PO or SSC or any examination, then you have to go through from this chapter, as this is very important. So now we move further, and now we have to convert the speed given in the denomination of meters per second to kilometers per hour. Then how shall you convert it? Okay, the conversion is again very simple. The speed is given in meters per second, and this is, we have to convert this in kilometers per hour. The process is very simple. You have to multiply this with 18 and divide it by 5. If you multiply the speed given in the denomination of meters per second with 18 and you divide it by 5, then you shall get your resultant speed in the denomination of kilometers per hour. So this is the process of converting the speed given in meters per second to kilometers per hour. So this is very simple process. I am again writing this, that if you multiply kilometers per hour with 5 and you divide it by 18, then you get your speed in meters per second. Okay. And now for finding the speed in kilometers per hour, when you take this figure to your left hand side, its numerator and denominator changes. So that's why 18 divided by 5 and multiplied by meters per second results you in the speed with the denomination of kilometers per hour. So this is the basic formula. I have already taught you in this video 5 formulas for the basic of this chapter. The first one was finding the speed, and the second one was finding the time, and third one was finding the distance. Fourth one was converting the speed given in the denomination of kilometer per hour to meters per second. And the fifth one was converting the speed given in the denomination of meters per second to kilometers per hour. So these 5 formulas you have already gone through, and I genuinely believe that you are seriously listening to me and you are very serious about your examination. So now we move further. The whole things are not completed yet. Some of the other things are still yet to come. So now this is the very important. In all this presentation, I have taken much portion of the slides blank because this is the actual way I teach in the college, and I genuinely enjoy this. Okay. So it has been given, if the ratio of speeds of A and B. So there are two moving objects. The first is A and the second one is B. It can be any. You can take it like car A. This is car B. So speed of two objects has been given. And this is saying that if the ratio of speed is A and B, we take it 3:2. If the ratio of the speed is given in the question to you, then how you shall solve it? Then the ratio of times taken, then the ratio of times taken by them to cover the same distance will be B/A. Okay. Then what shall be the ratio of time? The ratio of time shall be 2:3. And this is how you can solve this question very easily. And you do not have to apply any kind of a formula. This is a very basic and very good shortcut. Number of times these kind of questions, which seems to be very complicated, but the solution is very simple. These are asked in the examination, and these examinations are different examinations, not restricted to only NET and JRF. So this video lecture is important not from the point of view for a particular exam, but all the competitive examinations held in India. So now I again tell you, if the ratio of speeds has been given for two objects, then the question, if the question is asking you to find the ratio of time between them, okay, then what you shall do? You shall take the ratio of the speed of the second object at the first place, and you shall take the speed of the first object at the second place. So this is a very simple thing. Okay. So in this way, you can find the ratio of times taken by them to cover a certain distance. So now you have gone through from 6 formulas, and I believe that you are listening me carefully, and I do not need to go through again from all these 6 formulas because I have to move further. I wish that I could complete all the concepts in this video, and then we start our questions. So this is a concept of average speed. This is the only concept in the chapter of speed, time, and distance, which has repeatedly been asked in the previous examination. So this is a concept of average speed. If the two speeds have been given to you in a question, speed of object A and speed of object B, I mean to say speed of a car A, speed of a car B. Okay, so these have been given to you. Suppose this is given as 3 and this is given as 2. This is given as 3 kilometers per hour. This has been given as 2 kilometers per hour. So two speeds have been given, and the question is asking you to find the average speed. What you shall do? You shall apply this formula. This is 2 multiplied by the speed of A, multiply by speed of B, divide by speed of A plus speed of B. Okay, so this is the formula you have to apply. I mean to say, in our above example, we can write it like 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 and divided by 3 plus 2. So in this way, you can find the average speed of the two objects given. Okay. So now in this example, you can multiply it. 3 multiplied by 2 comes to be 6. Then 6 multiplied by 2 comes to be 12. And we have to divide it by 5. And whatever the resultant figure comes, that shall be our average speed for both of the objects. So now I move further. I have already taught you 7 formulas. I'm again repeating this. Okay. So now this is the concept of a relative speed for the same direction. This can also be asked. This is also very important, not from the point of view of only our examination, but other examinations as well. So this is a concept of a relative speed. I tell you what is this. If two speeds have been given, okay, for A and B, okay, A is moving in this direction, B is also moving in this direction. I mean to say they both are moving in the same direction and their speeds have been given. The A's speed has been given as 7 kilometers per hour and the speed of B has given as 5 kilometers per hour. Then the relative speed has been asked to you. Okay, relative speed. Then how does their speed relates to each other? Okay, what you have to do, you have to take the speed with the maximum value, this is 7, and you have to reduce the speed with the minimum value, this is 5, and their relative speed shall be 2 kilometers per hour. Now you see by reading this line, this concept seems to be very difficult, but this is very easy. You can find the relative speed for the same direction. This is 7 minus 5, the speed of the with the maximum value and the speed with the minimum value. So now 8 formulas have already gone through, and now this is the 9th formula, and after that there will be 10th, and this concept will be over. Then we shall move further to the questions. A relative speed for the opposite direction. A is standing here, A has to go to this direction, and B is standing here, he has to go to this direction. They have to move to opposite direction to each other. Speed of A and B has been given. This is 7 kilometers per hour and this is 5 kilometers per hour. What will be their relative speed? I mean to say how their speed relates to each other. The answer will be relative speed is equal to 7 plus 5. That shall be 12 kilometers per hour. So this is your answer. This is very simple. So if there is given same direction, you have to minus. If there is opposite direction, then you have to make sum of both the speeds. So now this one is the last formula. Then the concept and the chapter basics shall over. If two persons A and B, these are moving objects, these can be car. If these start at the same time, if these start at the same time in opposite directions, A is standing here, B is standing here, A has to move to this direction and B has to move to this direction. They have to move opposite to each other from 2 points, and after passing each other, suppose A has reached there, B has also reached there, and now they are supposed to pass each other. Okay, A is moving here, B is moving here. Once they pass, after passing each other, they complete their journey in A and B hours. After passing each other, when A and B has crossed to each other, they are covering their journey in A and B hours. Then their ratio of speed is asked in the examination. What you shall do? You shall write like, this is very simple. I tell you how it can be solved. A and B is the ratio of a time taken by them after crossing each other. What you shall do? Ratio of time for the second object, ratio of time for the first object, and you have to make square root of these. And sorry, under root of these. So by doing that, you can find the ratio of the speed of these two objects. So this point was very simple. This can also be considered to be a basic concept and the shortcut for this chapter as well. So now in this way, I have taught you all the 10 concepts, and these were very easy. In this very short lecture of just half an hour, I have taught you. I genuinely believe that you have gone through and you shall be regular with all the tests, because almost every day the question from number series and the question of speed, time, and distance is asked. And if you go through from these, your 2 marks shall be sure. Okay. So in this way, we shall cover each and everything. Now I just stop sharing my screen, and I would request you all that if you have not joined our system, then you can join it as soon as possible, because from 21st of June, the classes are being started. And you have to be regular with the test series, explanation videos, and whatever the subject matter we go through on daily basis from 21st of June. And you have to be regular with the Facebook pages and the groups as well, because most important MCQ series are going to be started from the next day onwards. Okay. Sorry, sir, I am not able to get you. The thing is that the time is elapsing right now. I will tell you again the last concept. Just let me know whoever you are, because your name has not been written here. Just ask the question to me personally, then I shall try my best to answer each and every query of you. Thank you so much for listening me. This is Gurpal Singh from Gursar Education.